So hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about Capricorns. Are they bossy or is it just born leader energy? So everyone tends to get Capricorn energy twisted, even Capricorns. They're not sure if they're just bossy or born leaders. Capricorns, you guys are born leaders. You guys just don't know how to use the bossiness properly. So I'm going to just share some tips with you guys, and I hope whoever is watching that's not a Capricorn gets to understand a little bit more about the Capricorns. Have a bossy side to them, right? Capricorns don't try to hide it. They don't. They know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Capricorns, when I say bossy, Capricorns, they don't always know they're being this way, and they don't mean it in a bad way, if that makes sense. Sometimes it's powerful, sometimes it's inspiring. Let's be real. It's always a little bit too much for most people. So this is why we need to talk about why Capricorns come off so bossy. I'm going to talk about how it helps, how it hurts, and how you guys can balance it out so your relationships don't suffer. Capricorns, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is why Capricorns are so bossy. Why are they so bossy? So let's start there. Capricorns are ruled by Saturn. Okay, the planet of structure, the planet of karma, the planet of responsibility, the planet of authority. Okay, that's big papa energy. That is big papa energies. They would be the father in this way, right? In astrology. So they're the ones that would say, like, do what you're supposed to do, handle your business, and like no excuses. So naturally Capricorns step into this role of authority, like without even trying, right? They're the ones organizing the plan. They're the ones focusing on other people, and they're telling them how to do things, and they're making sure everybody's on track. And honestly, 9 times like out of 10, this is why they're always right. They're calculated. They've seen the risk. They've watched, analyzed, they've observed to know, like, there's a risk here, okay? And they've built about 3 backup plans in case something goes wrong. They start telling people what to do, it's not just ego. It's about confidence. It's about knowing what it is that they're doing. But the thing with Capricorns is here's where the problem starts, Capricorns, okay? Just because you can lead doesn't mean you gotta run everybody. Nobody asked. Sometimes nobody asked. Nobody said, hey, like, can you boss me around? Can you help me? No one said anything. So just because you see flaws, Capricorn, doesn't mean, you have to point them out every time. Like, you don't need to do that. That bossy energy that you have, if it's not checked, right, it can make people feel very small. It can make people feel like you're controlling them, right? And trust me, nobody, and I mean nobody, likes to feel like they don't have a voice. Sorry. So just peep that, Capricorns. I'm going to explain to you the difference between being bossy at work, Capricorn, and being bossy at home, because they're 2 different things. And Capricorns, you don't know when to not be bossy. So I just want to compare the 2 so you know what you're doing and when you're doing it. Okay, so I'm just going to compare them both. So bossy at work versus bossy at home. How's that? Okay, so Capricorns, in the workplace, right? Your bossiness shines. It shines. You guys make excellent managers, okay? You guys make excellent entrepreneurs, supervisors, even CEOs, you name it. Perfect. Like, kudos to you guys. People actually expect you guys to boss them around. So that's where the authority energy comes in. It feels natural and it feels powerful to you guys. But bring that same energy home now, okay? My gosh, that's when it gets messy. Imagine trying to tell your partner how to load the dishwasher because you're better at it. You're more efficient. Or you're telling your kids every little step that you need to do because you don't trust them to figure it out. Even with friends, sometimes like to, turn like a club night or a fun night, or just something you guys are doing fun, or maybe you guys are just having fun. Capricorns like to turn that into like a business meeting. Like, they need to figure out who you are, what you're doing here, how can you contribute to the Capricorn. Like, what are we doing here? What can you offer me? Like, what is it that you can offer me so that, that's what Capricorns like to do. So here's the schedule. Here's what we're eating. Here's what time we're leaving. Like, Capricorns, you guys need to learn how to just vibe. So that bossy energy can feel heavy. People want love. How that works? People don't want management. They want connection, and they don't want correction. This is where things get a little deeper. Where does this come from? Being a Capricorn. A little deeper. So sometimes that bossy side comes from fear that if they don't control it, or they don't control something, that it's going to fall apart. Disappoint them, that things won't meet their standards. It can turn into micromanagement and into nagging and into always trying to be the one in charge. And here's the thing, right? Capricorns don't always realize how it comes across. They don't. They think they're being helpful. They think they're saving time. They think they're protecting people from failure. But to everyone else, it feels controlling. It feels like you don't trust them. It feels very bossy, Capricorns, right? This can affect your relationships too. It can. You need to really pay attention to what you're doing. I'm going to talk about your relationships and how it can mess up your relationships, because that's another thing. So let's talk love for a minute, Capricorns. So Capricorns, you guys want to be loved. You guys want to be in relationships. You guys want to be loved deeply, but sometimes the bossy energy pushes your partner away. They start feeling like they're being managed instead of loved. Like they're an employee, not a partner, and that just kills intimacy. So with friends, the bossy energy can make people avoid you. They don't want to hang out with you because it feels like a job. With family, it can create tension, dependency, especially with siblings or kids who just want to feel heard. It can create tension with them first. So Capricorns, you got to ask yourself, am I leading? Am I controlling? Am I inspiring? Or am I just bossy? I think you guys are just bossy. What do you think, Capricorns? When bossiness turns into leadership, it's a whole different ballpark. And I think that's what Capricorns need to focus on. So I'm going to flip it here. Okay, bossiness isn't always bad. Sometimes people need that Capricorn energy. They need someone like you, Capricorns, to take charge, to organize, to get things moving. That's why Capricorns are natural leaders. You guys don't know your power. Most of you don't know your power, but for the most part, you guys are natural leaders. So think about it. When everything's like chaotic, who do people look to? Capricorn. When a team doesn't know what to do, who steps up? Capricorns. That bossy energy, when used with wisdom, becomes leadership. It becomes direction, it becomes guidance, and people respect it. The difference is in the delivery. So are you demanding? Are you guiding? Are you commanding, or are you inspiring? What are you doing? You have to look at that too, because that is definitely a problem. That definitely is an issue. So Capricorn, I'm going to let you guys know how to balance your energy. How do you keep this energy in check so that, you guys don't mess up your relationships? You don't mess a good thing up. Capricorn is pause before directing. So ask yourself, do I really need to say this? Do I really need to do this? Can I let them figure it out?